Okay, so now we want to continue our discussion. And this is about the neck, wallet, red wallet, phone, and badge holding lanyard mounted on the chest of an inspector that gives you the flexibility to film cross-body. For example, I can pull it to the side and aim it to the side of my left-hand side and to film the metro line, or I can push it to the right-hand side and film the side of the street. Unlike other devices, no other devices lets you stream. Here you can see the metro line going through. So you can easily pull out the phone out of the rear clear vinyl pocket and aim it at whatever you want, and then when you are done, simply take it and tuck it back in the rear clear vinyl pocket. So I'm going to continue with the discussion of this neck, wallet, phone, and badge holding lanyard supported by a three-legged easel mounted on the chest of an inspector like myself right now, and then two retractable carabiners on each leg is extended from the chest of the inspector all the way to the back and locked up. The two carabiners are locked up into each other, so it remains attached, and it fastens the leg, the one leg of the lanyard, and another set of two carabiners fasten the second leg of the lanyard. Then you have the knobs. I'm going to focus in on the knobs here, which I can tighten or loosen and adjust the stress on the hinges of the easel. And that way I can aim the camera and the easel downwards or upwards by simply adjusting the wallet, going forward or backwards or upwards. So for example, if I want to film the 360 camera, I can simply raise it, and now it is filming the 360 camera that is right in front of us. This is the wonder of the neck, wallet, phone, and badge holding lanyard supported by three-legged easels. Two of the bottom legs are mounted on the chest of an inspector like myself and spread or folded depending on the situation. So it is important to note, for a situation that you are a law enforcement officer and you don't want the suspect to know that you are streaming their image or following them. If it is some kind of a covert operation, you simply fold the legs and place the phone and the easel next to your chest, just like in a card game where, what is the saying, sir, that you hold the cards? You hold the cards next to your chest, so the opponent, close to your chest, so the opponents cannot see the aces that you have.
Just all your cards.
Okay?
Can't see your hand.
Can't see your hand. The important thing here is that if I'm filming some kind of a television program or a movie like Undercover Boss, and I want to stream the images of the employees in a narrow place, for example in a grocery store between the aisles, when there's hardly enough space for one person, and I want to talk to an employee face to face in between the aisles, our proximity is very high. In other words, I am very close to them. I'm the boss, and I'm very close to the employees that is being filmed. That way I can fold the legs of the two legs of the lanyard holding the phone camera very close to my chest, so the employee cannot see that I'm actually acting in the undercover boss series. Another good example is chasing a predator. What is the name of the show? Catch a Predator. So if you follow a would-be predator, you don't, and you hope that they will carry out some kind of a sexual code violation or sexual predator violation. You don't want them to know that you are streaming them live, and that is the time to use this method. And when they gaze at you, all they see is a badge and a phone. They don't know that the phone is actually streaming what they are doing in real time. Instead, they focus on what's written on the badge. And of course, if you are a law enforcement agent but you don't want to disclose it, you can put any business card like I put there. You can see a business card if you am, and you can see also how the phone went off. So I'm going to close it and let it rest a little. Also, I can recharge it. Right now it is set to about 90 degrees. 90%. So I can connect it to the power cable here that comes right out of my battery. Find the USB-C plug. Plug it in, let us plug my phone in, then let it charge a little. To accelerate the charging, it's also a good idea to shut the power down. So I'm going to press the two buttons here and wait for it to give me a chance to power it down. Sometimes it doesn't work so well, so you have to try it again. Sometimes you may need to do a few trials until you get it to work. Finally, I got it to work, power off, and put it back in over the glove compartment to recharge it. So as we continue, I would like to review what I was teaching the viewer about this neck wallet, badge and phone holding lanyard supported by a three-legged easel mounted on the chest of an inspector for filming, recording, and most importantly streaming live to a server like YouTube or other free servers. We approach downtown Miami now. You can see the high rises of downtown Miami and the construction, the furious construction. I want to take a minute to thank the most beautiful girl for smiling a little, for driving the car and doing such a nice job. She's driving the car. You can see that it's quite windy today. Explain the purpose of the neck wallet, phone and badge holding lanyard supported by a three-legged easel with two retractable carabiners per leg that is mounted on the chest of the inspector or the auditor, that being myself. Sometimes I may know, for the purposes of teaching, that it is also very useful for teaching purposes when the instructor turns his back to the class and started writing on a blackboard, and nobody in the class, and with his body he hides what he is writing on the blackboard. having the lanyard in front of him and streaming it live on YouTube using Zoom. Everybody can log into the Zoom live broadcast through YouTube and view what the instructor is writing on the board, as he may be covering his body with his writing, and nobody can see in real time what he's writing, and they have to wait until he moves away. In the meantime, they don't understand the lecture. This way they can view from their phone the live stream on YouTube and see in near real time what the professor is writing on the board. And not only that, they can also record it to their phone or download it from YouTube, so later they can use it to go over it as many times as they like. And when the professor wears it on his chest is maybe a distance of 5 inches away from the board. So whatever he writes on the board should be very clear and legible. And that is the advantage of the neck, wallet, phone, and badge holding lanyard supported by an easel. The professor can also distance the phone and the wallet away from his chest, so he can gaze down and see and make sure that he is writing within the area that the phone is recording and streaming. And also that if the phone stops recording all of a sudden, the professor or the instructor can watch it and do something about it. As we proceed to downtown, to the stages, the street stages,